at 8:30, and a preliminary hearing on February 6th at 8:30. I am affirming the secured appearance bond of $500. If you do post that bond, you have written conditions of release, and you'll need to ensure you attend those 2 hearings. The dates, times, and locations will be listed in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
No.
Okay, so step to your left, they'll give you your paperwork.
Thank you.
Mr. Keith to the podium and Mr. Willis to the chair. Good morning. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Donald Keith,
And your date of birth.
4/7/1998.
Thank you, sir. And it does look like we have 4 cases on the calendar this morning. The first one is a new Superior Court case, and it includes 1 count of dangerous drug possession, a Class 4 felony, 1 count of narcotic drug possession, a Class 4 felony, and 1 count of drug paraphernalia possession, a Class 6 felony. Probable cause has been found, and I am going to appoint an attorney to represent you. You're going to have a status conference on February 4th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on February 6th at 8:30. It looks like you are also on probation in 3 cases right now. And so when you were picked up for these new charges, that's a violation of term 1 of your probation in each of those cases. So I'm going to appoint an attorney in those cases as well and set a probation revocation hearing for February 5th at 8:30 a.m. So between your 4 cases, you do have 3 hearings coming up 3 days in a row. Dates, times, locations will be listed in your paperwork. For the new charges, you have a secured appearance bond of $250. For each of your probation cases, you have a secured appearance bond of $50. So between the 4 cases, it's a total of $400. If that bond is posted, you have written conditions of release you need to comply with. That will include contacting your probation officer within 72 hours of release. Did you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, just up to your left, they'll give you that paperwork. Thank you, sir. Mr. Willis to the podium and Mr. Lopez Mora to the chair. Good morning. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Ron Willis, February 15th, 92.
Thank you, sir. And it does look like we have 2 cases on the calendar, and they're both probation violation warrants. They've alleged you violated terms 3 and 5 of your probation in each case. I'm going to appoint counsel in each of the cases and set a probation revocation hearing on February 5th at 8:30. In 1 case, you have a secured appearance bond of $250, and in the second case, $50. So it's a total secured appearance bond of $300 between your 2 cases. You do have written conditions of release that will be included in the paperwork, and it does include contacting your probation officer within 72 hours of release. Did you have any questions?
No.
Okay, if you'll step to your left, I'll give you your paperwork. Mr. Lopez Mora to the podium and Mr. Corrales to the chair. Good morning, sir. Could I get your name and date of birth?
Juan Lopez Mora, September 12, 1996.
Thank you, sir. And it does look like we have a new Superior Court case. It includes 1 count of dangerous drug possession, a Class 4 felony, and 1 count of drug paraphernalia possession, a Class 6 felony. Probable cause has been found, and I am going to appoint an attorney to represent you. You're going to have a status conference. Let me ask you a question. Have you been seen by the Scottsdale court yet? Because it looks like you have a hold by the Scottsdale court. Have you seen the judge there yet?
Recent.
He won't go to them until he's released from here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if he stays, he won't go till it's finished, or if he gets released today, then he'll go there.
Okay. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the order. I'm going to give you a hearing for status conference on February 13th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on February 18th at 8:30. I'm going to release you on your own recognizance in this case. That's your promise to appear at those hearings, okay? You'll have written conditions of release you need to comply with. Dates, times, and locations will be listed in your paperwork. Do you have any questions? Okay, if you'll step to your left, we'll reprint this paperwork and they'll bring that out to you. Mr. Corrales to the podium and Mr. Thornton to the chair. Good morning. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Yeah, Johnny Corrales, 08/12/2000.
Thank you, sir. And it does look like we're here on a new Superior Court case. It does include 1 count of forgery, a Class 4 felony. Probable cause has been found, and I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you. I'm going to give you some hearings. You're going to have a status conference on February 13th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on February 18th at 8:30. I am releasing you today on your own recognizance. That's your promise to appear at those hearings. You're going to have written conditions of release. It does include not having no contact with any alleged victims, complainants, or witnesses. Dates, times, and location for those hearings will be in your paperwork. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, just up to your left, they'll give you your paperwork.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Thornton to the podium and Mr. Davalos to the chair.
How you doing?
Good morning. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Shamar Thornton, April 2nd, 2003.
Thank you, sir. And it does look like you're here on 2 cases on the calendar, and it looks like they're both Youngtown Municipal Court warrants that were issued for you. The first one relates to a criminal trespass charge with an offense date of February 12th, 2024. The other one is 1 count of disorderly conduct with an offense date of May 30th, 2024. Due to the nature of your charges, you're not entitled to court-appointed counsel in either of those cases. However, you can hire one at your own expense if you choose to do so. I'm going to give you a hearing in the Youngtown Municipal Court, and it's an arraignment hearing on February 13th at 9 a.m., and that's going to apply to both of these cases. I am releasing you today on both cases on your own recognizance. That's your promise to appear at that hearing. You'll have written conditions of release you'll need to comply with. Your paperwork will include those along with the date, time, and location of that hearing. Did you have any questions?
I'm in custody right now, but in February, that's a couple months from now.
You're in custody.
For a probation violation.
I'm sorry?
He's up on that, he's here.
Okay, and when do you anticipate getting out? Do you have a set date that you will get out for your probation violation?
Cause I know my bond is $50, and so when my people get that, I'll be able to be bonded out. I just wanted to take care of that first, but if you can give me like a month or two to get to that court, that would be very helpful. I'll be grateful if you help me out with that.
So you already have a bond, it looks like, for the $50, and then looks like you already have, so you have 3 warrants at a Youngtown Municipal Court. It looks like you were already seen on one of those on January 25th. Let me see when your hearing is on the Superior Court case. Okay, so your probation revocation hearing is on January 31st. So you'll likely be out of custody by the time your hearing is set in the municipal court on February 13th. But
okay.
You already have that date from the judge you saw the other day. So we're going to leave it at that. You'll have 3 cases that day. But you should have your probation revocation hearing here before that. So if you don't post the bond, you'll be in custody, but you'll have that hearing. Hopefully they can resolve that issue. And then you hopefully will be out to go to this hearing for all 3 of your cases in Youngtown. Okay. So just up to your left, they'll give you the paperwork. It'll give you the date, time, and location for those.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. You too, sir. Mr. Davalos to the podium and Mr. Bird to the chair. Good morning. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Omar Davalos, 04-15 of 87. Good
Thank
morning.
you. And it does look like you have 2 cases on the calendar. It looks like there are 2 warrants coming out of the Goodyear Municipal Court. The first one relates to 1 count of disorderly conduct with an offense date of July 2nd, 2022. The second one is a probation violation with an offense date of October 16th, 2024. Due to the nature of the charges, you're not entitled to court-appointed counsel, but you can hire one at your own expense. I'm going to give you an arraignment hearing on February 12th, 2025 at 1 p.m. in the afternoon in the Goodyear Municipal Court. That will apply to both of the pending cases you have. I am going to release you today on your own recognizance. That's your promise to appear at that hearing. You'll have written conditions of release listed in your paperwork along with the date, time, and hearing of that hearing on February 12th. Did you have any questions about that?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, just up to your left, they'll give you that paperwork.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Bird to the podium.
Good morning.
Good morning. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Randall Bird, 4/14/87.
Thank you, sir. And it does look like you're here on a warrant from the state of Florida. I believe you were seen recently on another warrant you had from Florida. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this hearing is going to be similar to that, which is that Florida has told us that they also want to extradite you to Florida for this warrant as well. So you have an option or a choice to make tonight. And one of your options is to say that you are willing to waive your right to an extradition hearing here in Maricopa County, and you're willing to allow Florida to come pick you up on this warrant. If you choose to do that, you would be held non-bondable on this charge here in Maricopa County, and Florida would be given 30 days from the date that your pending charges in Maricopa County are resolved. Once those are completed, the 30 days will start to come pick you up on this warrant. Or you have the option of getting a hearing in Maricopa County on February 10th, 2025 at 1:30 in the afternoon, and you would have a secured appearance bond of $5,000 in this case. And what that would do is you're saying, I'm not willing to be extradited, and I want the governor of both Florida and Arizona to sign a warrant for my extradition before I am sent back. So with that, do you know what you would like to do today?
The second option.
Okay, so you would like to go ahead and have the hearing here in Maricopa County?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and do that, and that hearing date will be February 10th, 2025 at 1:30 in the afternoon, and you will have the secured appearance bond of $5,000 in this case. This is in addition to any bonds that were set when you were previously seen by a judicial officer in this court. If all those bonds are posted and you are released from custody, you will have written conditions of release you need to comply with, and then of course attend the hearing on February 10th. If you do fail to appear at that hearing, the Florida warrant will be active, and then you will also have new charges and an active warrant in Maricopa for failing to appear at that hearing, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Did you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, if you'll step to your left, they'll bring you your paperwork in just a moment. Case number 11, David Rubalcaba, date of birth January 3rd, 1986, will proceed as a house call due to danger to self. We are here on a new Superior Court case with 2 counts of narcotic drug transportation for sale, a Class 2 felony, and 1 count of dangerous drug transportation for sale, a Class 2 felony. Probable cause has been found, and I am going to appoint an attorney to represent him. I'm going to set a status conference on February 4th at 8:30 a.m., an evidentiary hearing on February 5th at 1:30 p.m., and a preliminary hearing on February 6th at 8:30 a.m. In this case, he was out on felony release at the time he was picked up for these new charges, so he is being held non-bondable. The hearing set on February 5th at 1:30 is the time set for him and his attorney to present evidence to the court to determine if a bond should be set. If anything changes after I meet with him, I will update the written record. Case number 2 on the calendar, Eduardo Armenta, date of birth September 27th, 1992, will proceed as a house call due to bizarre behavior. We are here on a new Superior Court case. It includes 1 count of narcotic drug possession for use, a Class 4 felony, 1 count of unlawful means of transportation, a Class 5 felony, and 1 count of drug paraphernalia possession for use, a Class 6 felony. Probable cause has been found, and I am appointing an attorney to represent him. I'm setting a status conference on February 4th at 8:30 a.m. and a preliminary hearing on February 6th at 8:30 a.m. I'm setting a secured appearance bond in the amount of $4,000. If bond is posted, he'll have written conditions of release to include not returning to the scene of any alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victims, complainants, or witnesses. If anything changes after I meet with him, I will update the written record. Case number 10, Joshua Emerson, date of birth April 16th, 1991, will proceed as a house call directly after this recording. We are here on a new Superior Court case for 1 count of burglary in the 3rd degree, Class 4 felony, 1 count of taking identity of another, a Class 4 felony, and 1 count of dangerous drug possession for use, a Class 4 felony, and 1 count of burglary, possession of tools, a Class 6 felony. I am finding probable cause and appointing an attorney to represent him. I'm setting a status conference on February 4th at 8:30 a.m. and a preliminary hearing on February 6th at 8:30 a.m. I am setting a secured appearance bond in the amount of $1,500. If bond is posted, there are written conditions of release that include not returning to the scene of the alleged crime, No contact with any alleged victims, complainants, or witnesses. If anything changes after I meet with them, I will update the written record. Case number 4, Richard Wiggins, date of birth November 28, 1980, will proceed as a house call due to Mr. Wiggins being unable to function. We are here on a new Superior Court case. It does include 1 count of trafficking stolen property in the 1st degree, a Class 2 felony, 1 count of burglary in the 3rd degree, unlawful entry, a Class 4 felony. Probable cause has been found, and I am appointing counsel to represent him. I'm setting a status conference on February 4th at 8:30 a.m. and a preliminary hearing on February 6th at 8:30 a.m. He will have a secured appearance bond of $2,500 in this case. If anything changes after I meet with him, I will update the written record. Case number 16, Joshua Storm, date of birth January 9th, 1977, will proceed as a house call due to being unable to function. We are here on a Goodyear Municipal Court warrant. Due to the nature of the charges, he's not entitled to court-appointed counsel. I am setting an arraignment hearing in the Goodyear Municipal Court on February 12th, 2025 at 1 p.m. I am releasing him on his own recognizance, as his promise to appear at that hearing. He will have written conditions of release he needs to comply with, and if anything changes after I meet with him, I will update the written record. We will now stand in recess until the 8 a.m. calendar.